It's incredible, the emotional connection, you have with the clients when you do this sort of deep dive. You can actually see into their soul of what they're looking for. And very often it's not a building, it's architecture. And architecture is profoundly poetic when you're able to make that transference from lived experience into a language of forms and light. My name's Kristian Hyde. I'm the architect for Edge House. It's a project located in West Wales, overlooking the Irish Sea. I'm part of a husband and wife practice, Hyde Hyde Architects. It's really important for us to build buildings that are connected to our clients' lives. And I think trying to build an emotion is really just taking the time to really listen deeply to our clients', not just requirements in terms of a brief, but in terms of their life goals, where they're going, and also where they've come from. And I think built meaning is very much woven into that concept of trying to create stories or narratives, not out of thin air, but that are directly connected to the lives of our clients.
My name's Jane and I'm the owner of Edge House. I'm a doctor, never built a house before. It just came about, like I say, it evolved from speaking to Kristian really. Growing up I was one of 4 children and we started off in a small 4-man tent all squeezed in on a nearby campsite. We then sort of graduated to a caravan and eventually myself and my father bought the house that was here previously. For as long as I can remember, every summer was on a beach in Cardigan Bay, specifically Aberporth. The purchase of the house was fate. A passing comment led to us agreeing to buy a house we'd never seen. I remember walking up the stairs and seeing the amazing view, and we knew immediately that we needed to buy this house.
Jane recently had a bereavement in the family, and she actually used to come here as a child. She also told me that many of her memories were made on summer holidays here around the site. And I asked her, can you point? Can you show me from this existing house, where were those memories made? And she pointed down into a little cove here to the side of the house. She also mentioned a waterfall she used to walk up to, you can see up here. And just lots of other spots around the site where her own memories of childhood were made. And we were really interested about that. We were really interested in trying to weave the house and have some sort of connection with those memories. So as the conversations evolved and the project evolved, we decided to put some windows that would actually look out onto where those memories were made. And that sort of became part of the language of the project, if you like. From the street, as you approach the house, the whole idea is that the house doesn't really reveal too much of the secrets that happen inside. It's really containing the home and protecting it from the public realm. As you move towards the front door, the first thing you notice is that it's fundamentally a different colour to the rest of the house. The main materials of the house are concrete, in situ concrete, and fibre cement. As you walk down the street, you in effect see the front door almost cantilevering out of the main facade. And that's for a very good reason, because the property plot is quite tight and we were trying to utilise as much footprint as possible. So the main footprint is for living, and there's a teeny little space left over just to cantilever out an entry door so that you come into the house and it holds you and then transitions you into the main house. So you have this really powerful entry promenade coming towards the front door, and as soon as the door opens you get quite a compressed space that then releases into this double height space that then directs you right up the stairs, and then you're confronted with this incredible view and out towards the ocean. Or you can go to the guest bedrooms. Part of the story of the lower ground floor is trying to accentuate this feeling of solidity and protection from obviously the exposed cliff face, but also the storms and the weather. So the concrete really gives this feeling of endurance and solidity to the lower ground floor. And we've tried to expose and celebrate the joint lines and also the tie holes. And they are just literally finished with a ping pong ball inserted into the tie hole to create this concave finish. So on the ground floor, you have the guest bedrooms, and they literally turn away from the main plan, allowing people to see directly out to the ocean from the bedroom. And then you have this undercover interstitial space as the building cantilevers towards the ocean, allowing you to sit outside when the weather's much better. The acoustics of the space is really important to us as well. I mean, I know the contemporary paradigm is all about open plan space, but in my experience, I think people need intimate spaces also. And I remember a quote by the famous American architect Louis Kahn when he said, people will talk in hushed tones in closed rooms and say things to each other they won't say in an open plan space. Part of creating intimate spaces is really thinking about how we weave rooms into an open plan space. And we managed to do that on the first floor plan by creating these two little boxes, if you like, which are behind me. The first one is the master bedroom, and the second one is almost like a little snug. And that little snug looks out onto one of those memories of childhood. So the intimacy of the room is reinforced by the intimacy of the memory. When you look at the building from the outside, you'll see that that snug space has a portal window that cantilevers out in oak. And that is to almost further accentuate the importance of that key corner elevation to the street. So the rest of the windows, if you like, are very mute. They have black cladding. They sat back within the cloak of the building. But that little window sort of cantilevers out as an offering to the street, but also an offering for Jane to the memory of childhood down in the bay. I just love this idea of, you know, Jane sitting down on the beach there as a child, making sandcastles, and then that happening here with the children, but not maybe building sandcastles, just playing with toys. It's a kind of generational loop.
He got it straight away, what we needed. I was a single person then, so I wanted, you know, my own space. So the master bedroom upstairs was for me, the nice ensuite bathroom. There weren't many tweaks after the initial sort of design process, but we were involved with it all from the start.
The house was going to probably look very generic in terms of its whiteness and its interplay with wood. And there was something missing when you looked at the ocean and you were in the house. The ocean just felt far away. And the whiteness, I felt instinctively, sort of just pushed the ocean away from the house. And it felt like a paradox because we were so close to the ocean. Why should it feel so far away? And leaving the site and driving up this big mountain we have behind us, I wondered if we could just paint the house black. And I heard myself saying this. And I had this kind of monologue with myself. You know, you can't paint the inside of a house black. You've got a black floor. But it just felt right because I felt that by painting the house black, the ocean would just flow into the space. And then the second thing I had to do was try to convince the client to do that. I hadn't heard from them for maybe 2-3 months, and I came back to site, and Jane greeted me at the front door, and she was really excited, and she said, "You have to come upstairs." And I just thought maybe the kitchen island had been installed, and she was happy with that. But as I walked up the main staircase, obviously everything was black. And the first thing that hit me was just the ocean. This cobalt sea just flew into the space. And I just felt a great relief that it worked. And I don't think it'll work on every house. I think context and setting is very important. But yeah, it certainly works, I think, in terms of bringing the ocean in on those sunny days.
So this is my favourite room because of the sheer size of it. So I can be making dinner, the children can be sat playing, watching TV, and we're all together. I think they really enjoy that. We don't have to be separated up into other rooms. You're able to all be in here as a family. I think if you ask Neil, my partner, that's what his advice would be, is just put your trust in the architects. Because, you know, some of the design features, when you see them on paper, feel a little bit sort of risky, but when you see them in the flesh, they're all sort of worth it. And he's such a talented man, him and Kay, his wife, they're amazing. We're looking to share the house with people so they can build their own memories, so they can sit and look at the same features, the waterfall, like we've done over the years. And we've developed our own website, which is edgehousewales.co.uk, so people can book now for this summer and come and share our experiences.
One of the things I've noticed over the years is that good architecture is fundamentally made through good clients. You can have all the intentions in the world as an architect to make space, but it's the clients that bring it into being and keep the enthusiasm going. And I think Jane has been extraordinary in just supporting us and believing in us. And I know trust shouldn't be given, it should be earned. And it feels, we've come on a long journey together, and it just feels wonderful to be back here today, sitting here in this storm, just experiencing this. It feels good.